Hello, welcome to Friday's Reading Skills. It's our last reading skills of the week, and today we're going to focus on two elements of Vipers, a V and an S. So that means we're doing what? That's right, we're going to be looking at vocabulary and summarizing. What we're going to do today is we're going to look through the whole text. Okay, I'm going to leave it to you to read the whole text. I'll just go through the last section with you when that comes up. And then we've got some questions to answer at the end. So scanning over the whole text that we've looked at, pause at the right time so you can read this one. Okay, next one. Okay, now today's text is all about society and leisure time. So, society. Our king is at the top of our society and is thought to have godlike powers with huge temples built in his name. The king's family, nobles, and other royals are also treated with great respect. So, nobles. I'm not going to give you too much information about what that word means because it's going to be one of our questions today, but I want you to think about it goes with the king's family and other royals. King's family and other royals. Maybe make some links with our royal family that you know about. Who might the nobles be? Craftspeople and merchants are next. So this is craftspeople, people who make things for people to use, and merchants, they're sellers, so shopkeepers. So let's just pause there. We're starting to think about a hierarchy, aren't we? We're starting to think about the most important people down to the least important. So at the top we have the king's family, nobles are the royals, then craftspeople and merchants, followed by farmers and finally slaves. On special occasions, great celebrations are held in our communities, so commoners and slaves can get to see the king and his family. Commoners, that's a word meaning everybody but the very rich people. Not a very nice word, really. Leisure time. You may be invited to play ball games, as these are very popular in our Mayan world. The aim of our favourite game is to keep a rubber ball in the air using different parts of your body and then pass it through the stone hoops. However, hands and feet are not allowed to be used. At the end of the game, if you're on the losing team, you may be offered up to the gods as a blood sacrifice. And then at the end of the advert, it says, contact us. If you're interested in applying for the job, please get in touch with us at the Lost World Pyramid, Tikal, Guatemala, and then there's even a postcode, MA10YA. You might work out what that's all about. So, today we're looking at some summarizing and some vocabulary. So I'd like you to look at the society section. You could go back and pause that and create a summary. So that's a couple of sentences that summarize the whole of that text. I want you to use a dictionary or your own understanding to find the meaning of the term nobles. If you don't have a dictionary at home, Google can work like a good dictionary. What is meant by the term leisure time? What does the word sacrifice mean in the context of this text? And we've talked about that in history, so I hope you've got some understanding of that. Why has the writer included an address at the end of the text? What's that for? What questions would you like to ask someone from the ancient Mayan times? Now we're thinking about summarizing, thinking about that whole text as a whole. What question would you ask someone, if you could, about the Mayan times? And the reason we want to look at that whole text is to think about, would you have chosen, always correcting my errors, that would you have chosen or would you choose to apply for the position of an ancient Mayan citizen? Explain your answer. So that's your large question for today. Think about, would you apply to be an ancient Mayan? And then maybe I'd like 2 reasons why or why not. Okay, so have a go at those and then come back to the answers. So here's our answers. I haven't done answers for 6 and 7 because they're really up to you. Pause here if you want to mark any of your answers, but don't go just yet, because you may have noticed that brings us to the end of today's reading skills, and we've only been here for 5 minutes. That's because I've deliberately given us a slightly shorter session. We've worked quite hard this week, and so I'd like you now, as we've been talking about love of reading all week, I'd like you now to finish up with reading skills for today and go and find that love of reading to yourself. So go and find a quiet spot somewhere, maybe build yourself a little reading den, wherever your favourite place to read is. Go and get yourself set up in a cosy spot with your book and enjoy 20 to 30 minutes, something like that, of your own quiet reading time. And I'll see you back here next week. Have a lovely weekend, Year 5. Cheerio.